I really love to do art. So before I get started with my my painting, I hope you watched the video and you saw how many paints I actually have before I get started. But I want to make sure that I graph and record the amount of how many primary colors I have right now. I should try to get some more. It's quarantine, should be staying inside. And I think I do have enough. Now, going back to what we saw in the video, I have to label my graph. And today we're going to be looking at a bar graph. Now, let me get my drawing tool so then you can see certain things. This line down here is called the x-axis. It goes left to right. And I highlighted that blue. This line on the side, or lines that go up and down, they are called the y-axis. Why? I don't know. But the x-axis goes left to right. Y-axis goes vertically up and down. In the video, you saw that I had a certain amount of paint that I could use. What was I talking about? I was talking about paints. So the title of this graph is right here. Colors to paint. That is the title of my graph, right? So that is the title. It's just generic. What do we have? In general, what do we have? What are we talking about? I was talking about paints. I could have been talking about cars and then got specific. I could have been talking about candy and got specific. I could have been talking about fruits and got specific. But in general, I was talking about colors to paint. So that is the title of this graph. On the y-axis is where I decided to put the amount of paints. So the amount to represent how many of each paint I had. That's fine. And you can tell that each line, so 0 to this line, it doesn't have a number there. But if I take another jump, that's 2. So I wonder how much is actually between each of these darker black lines, right? And I'll just make it a line there. I'll erase that. But I'm pretty sure that in between each one of those darker black lines, it just is 1. This line is really curvy. Now, the colors that I had in the video, there were the primary colors. There were yellow. So I'm going to write yellow. I also had blue. I'm going to put blue in another column, blue. And then I also had the other primary color, which is red. Now, based on that video, how much did I have of each? If you haven't had a chance to look at that video, I would suggest that you go and do that. But I remember I had, how many yellows? I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yellows. So I would take my yellow and I'm looking for the number yellow, not the number yellow, the number 9 on my y-axis. I don't see the number 9, but I know the number 9 is between 8 and it's between 10. So right between 8 and 10 is the number 9. So I'm going to do a bar that reaches the number 9. And I'm going to write the number 9 on top. That's another way that you would label your bars when you're doing bar graphs. So bar graphs are important because they record data. And data is a way of recording amounts of different items so then we could compare them, we could look at them and keep track of how many objects we have. For in this example, how many colors I had to paint. Next, I remember I had some blue paints. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 8 blues. So I'm gonna switch my colors to blue. And now I'm looking for the number 8 on the y-axis. The y-axis, which tells me the amount of paints. I decided to put the number of paints and kind of to skip count by 2s on my y-axis. So I had 8. I'm going to go up to the number 8 and I put a line right there. That's where I stop. And I'm going to make a bar. Cool. So I'm making a bar. This is a bar graph. I'm shading it in. And this was 8. And then finally I had red, which I think I had the least amount. I had 7 reds, but I don't see 7 on the side, on the y-axis. I see 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I see even numbers, but I know that the number 7 is between 6 and the number 8. So right between them, I'm going to put a line. I'm going to put 7, and I'm making a bar like that. And now I have the data to represent how many primary colored paints that I had. And that's how you make a bar graph. Just some extra questions for you to think about. How many paints did I have in total? How would you figure that out? How many more yellow paints did I have than red paints? How many more blue paints are there than red paints? These are some questions to think about, especially when we graph data on different type of charts. This is a bar graph or a bar chart. And hopefully you were able to do this. This is Mr. Bonon. Thank you for helping me graph the amount of paints I have. Maybe next time I have some more. Hopefully. I will see you all next time. I have to go paint a picture. Bye.